My name is Hannah, and this is my no-buy year. I'm wearing my statement earrings and my orange lipstick in honor of Karen Harris, my beautiful collaborator. She's been wearing this orange lipstick lately. I think it's called Dirty Pumpkin. It's by Give Me Glow Cosmetics, which I've never tried. I've never tried any of theirs. And it looks so good on her. Every time I see her in it, I'm just like, give me glow, Dirty Pumpkin. But it's out of stock. I don't even know if it's ever going to be available again. And I can't buy it because it's my no-buy year. This is the closest thing I have, which is M Cosmetics Infinite Lip Cloud in Faded Clementine. So I'm doing my best, Karen. I'm doing my best. Anyway, I'm also wearing a strong blush look today to contribute to the video. I went in hard with this Givenchy blush. The reason I'm mentioning it is that I already had a full eye look on and a strong lip look because I was filming another video before this, and then I was like, oh yeah, I gotta film that intro and outro. So I added in the strong blush. So I'm wearing a really strong cheek and a strong lip and a strong eye, which is something that I didn't do for the entirety of the week, as you are about to find out. And that's also something that I wouldn't normally do. I don't think I would usually do, except for maybe for a photo shoot. So I'm really feeling like I'm in full drag right now. I'm in drag as a woman. But it's not the main gig. The main gig is forthcoming, the meat of the video, in which I show you the 5 different blush looks that I came up with over the 5 different days with 5 different blushes in my collection. So I'm gonna roll that footage now. No, we're not getting into the meat of the video yet because I have to tell you about Karen. I think we became friends on Instagram, or I remember hearing her name from a lot of other people. I had just heard her name a lot. I ended up checking out her channel. I just wanted to keep watching her. I just wanted to hang out. And every time she posts a video, she's one of those people, I just click on it right away because I just want to hang out with Karen. She's so lovely to be around on YouTube, and I just enjoy her content. Whatever she's doing, she's like applying a new eyeshadow, she's just talking about random stuff, showing stuff. Like I think I watched recently her green eyeshadow palette collection. That's the kind of video that I might skip from some people, but with Karen, I'm just like, I'll watch it. I'll watch you, girl. Like, I'll watch you talk about whatever. I just like hanging out with Karen. And so I watch everything she posts. She's smart and funny and honest, and she's very, very, very much herself. She's just up here being herself. It's totally refreshing, and I think you guys will really enjoy her channel. So I'm gonna link it down below, and you should go watch Karen. Now, let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Hey guys, it's the first day of 5 days of strong blush. It's Monday morning and I just finished applying this look, and I'm gonna let you know what I did. I started with a matte mustard eye. I went in with this Armani eye tint in 19. It's like a cool taupe. It's like a mid-toned taupe cream shadow, and I just put that all over the lid, and then I buffed it out with this kind of mustardy brown matte eyeshadow that I depotted from the Morphe 350. It's not strong mustard, but it's got a mustard undertone, and that's all that I put on my eyes. For some reason, I had the hankering for a glowy blush look today. I've kind of been more into matte looks, or I've been more into toning down my highlighter lately, but this morning I was just like, I want that classic super glowy, glistening, glossy, blushy skin. So I started with a highlighter. I took my favorite highlighter, really, it's this one, Rivage, from my Nars Bordeaux Plage palette. It's one of those highlighters that's quite glossy and really melts into my skin. It doesn't give my skin any color. So I buffed that all over my cheeks pretty intensively, and I also buffed it into the eye look. So the eye look started matte, but then I buffed the highlighter up all over, really up to my brows, all over my outer corner and upper half of my eye look, and on my nose and Cupid's bow as well. Then I went in with the blush, and the blush I chose today is Becca Songbird. It's in this little Becca palette that I was given. It's that one right there in the middle, and it's sort of an orangey blush, and it also has some glisten of its own. So it was layering glimmer on glimmer by putting this blush over top of the highlighter. So I tried to concentrate the blush right up here, putting kind of a spot of color on not the apples of my cheeks, but the top of the cheekbone right outside of the eye. So I put pretty strong spots of color both here and here, and then I blended and blended and blended those spots to buff the blush out. I then took the blush brush I was using, which was this e.l.f. brush, which is pretty small and it kind of comes to a little point. And I took the little point and dipped it into the blush, and then I placed it right at the outer corner of the eye and buffed that pretty much all over the eye look. On both of my eyes, I have that blush like all over the eyes. It's like I put a sheer wash of the blush that I put in my cheeks over top of that mustardy matte eye look, and that created some dimension and a little bit of glisten on my eye look as well. And that's pretty much it. I just went in with a super sheer, clear, glossy lip treatment, basically just a lip balm on my lips, because I didn't want to compete with everything else that's going on my face. And my eyebrows are freshly dyed. I dyed them last night, so they're a little bit more intense and structured than my eyebrows usually are, but I'm not mad at it. I'll zoom in so you can see the look. It is the morning and sunlight is streaming in from the window right there, so I know that it might be lighting my face from the side and it might look a little bit asymmetrical, but in real life it's relatively symmetrical. That's it for this morning. I'm really enjoying this glossy, flushed look with the mustard eye, and I'm gonna get on with my day. I will check in with you tomorrow morning. Hey guys, it's me, Hannah Louise Poston. It's the second day of 5 days of blush. Joe is always telling me that I should say my last name in videos so that people will know how to pronounce it, but I don't really care if people mispronounce it, but it is Poston, in case anyone's been wondering. In stark contrast to yesterday, I went for a pretty matte blush look today, or I thought that I was going for quite a matte blush look. I decided to use the notorious Exhibit A by Nars. It's this one. I have it in a palette right here. I have it in this little Unfiltered 1 cheek palette. And it's very matte. It's very matte in the pan, but when I buffed it out, it ended up having a little bit of gloss. I didn't put any highlighter or anything underneath it. In fact, I kind of put it straight on top of my sunscreen, the Aaron's Faces sunscreen, which does soak in and dry down pretty matte. So I suspect that this slight sheen just comes from the quality of the blush, the way that it buffs out whatever kind of silicones are in it to make it smoother and easier to blend. I'm not even sure that there are silicones in it. I mean, I haven't looked at the ingredients, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever kind of ingredients are in it to give it its quality, I think gives it just ever so slight of a healthy skin-like sheen on the face. So I actually started with the blush today, which is something that I advise if you are going for a strong blush look. I put the blush look onto my cheeks. I used this kind of little brush. It's littler than the brush that I used yesterday. I just wanted total control over placement and blending and everything. So I kind of dotted the blush onto those spots on my cheeks where I like to place my blush. Again, I tend to place my blush higher and further out than what I see a lot of the times. I feel like blush or bronzer, any darkening on the face, can help to lift and sculpt the face if you place it further out instead of sort of bringing the face in and down. So I spotted it out here, and then I just used this little brush to assiduously blend it until it had taken the shape that you see now. And after that, I went in with a little fluffy eyeshadow brush and the same blush, and I put it on my lids. And I basically just buffed it out all over the lid in a very, very sheer wash. And then I packed a little bit more of it in the outer corner to darken the outer corner. And then I actually packed a little bit more of it up above my crease in the outer corner. It's not really a corner because it's like the side of the lid above the crease, but I frequently do that with my outer corner shade because I have hooded eyes. So when I'm looking straight on, you can't see the part of my eye where I packed it into the actual outer corner, but my eyes still look a little bit sculpted because I put a darkening of the shadow basically right here. I'll zoom in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So obviously I then went in with lashings of mascara. I used my little sample size of Better Than Sex, and I put tons on my upper and my lower lashes. I tried to really pile on the mascara for this look. Brushed up my brows. They're still quite dark from when I dyed them, so that's just gel in there. And then after I applied all of the rest of the look, my lips were still very pale and a little bit crusty from waking up. Like I hadn't done anything to my lips, but I kind of liked it. I didn't want to darken or shape my lips. I didn't want to do anything. I felt like kind of the pale, natural, washed out lip was really working with the watercolory look. So I did scrub my lips a little bit with some lip scrub, but then I blotted them, and I then just applied this Bite Agave lip balm, which was actually missing from my collection when I did my lip gloss and balm declutter. This didn't show up in my declutter because I had lost it. I've since found it and I'm keeping it and I'm using it. It was a nice choice for this because it has a little bit of glossiness, but it's not very glossy. It's like a satin sheer lip treatment, and I didn't want anything too glossy to go with this look. I would actually prefer something even a little bit more matte, but I'm not too fussed about it today. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Hey guys, it's Wednesday, the third day of 5 days of strong blush. I'm filming my check-in a little late today. Getting dressed was really hard today. Sometimes getting dressed is so hard. But here I am, I have the look on. I decided to go for this blush today. This is an Ofra blush. I believe it's called Winter Rose Flush. And it's the only Ofra product I've ever had or ever tried. I actually like it a lot. But when I went to start to put on this look, I realized I was very tempted to put on a monochromatic look again. I feel like strong blush to me really lends itself to a matching eye, a monochromatic draped look like the one that I had on yesterday, but I didn't want to do the same thing that I did yesterday. So I thought to myself, what kind of soft eye look can I put on that will define my eyes, but that won't compete with the blush, that will work with the blush and create something that's overall appropriate for day, even though it's a relatively strong blush look. And this is what I came up with. I reached for my mini Natasha Denona Star palette, and I started with the gold shade, the really sparkly one, this one Cosmo, and I patted that all over the lid, and it got pretty sheer. It shears out pretty well. It's like a lot of glitter and not a ton of pigment, which is how it's supposed to be. But I put kind of a sheer wash of that sparkle all over my lid. Then I went in with Atique, which is the transition shade, and I blended that sparkle using the darker, it's kind of an orangey shade on me, almost all the way up to my brows. And then I put Brown Earth is what it's called. I put that just a little bit in the outer corner. I actually was really appreciating the formula of these shadows today. They're so soft. They're really easy to work with when you're trying to create a soft romantic look, which is something that I don't do that often. I'm usually going kind of for drama. So I almost feel like I learned something about the Natasha Denona formula today because I was trying to create a soft romantic look, and I felt like the shadows just created the look almost unbidden on my eyes. So I guess this is what they're for, and that's good to know. And I'm really happy with the way the look came out. I also blended some of Earth, the brown, on my lower lash line and kind of buffed that out with a pencil brush. So I did that, and then I went in with the blush. I think that the lights are washing it out, but I'll turn them down in a second. I went pretty hard with the blush. I built it up quite a lot. I really put it on my cheeks. I brought it in a little further than I have been. I wanted it to really look like my cheeks were like flushed and wind bitten. It's a little bit rainy and cozy today in LA, so that even led me to go a little further with kind of the wind flushed cheek look. And then I wanted again to go for a pretty soft lip. I feel like My Lips But Better lips work really well with strong blush. So I took Glacé, this Bite Beauty pencil, and I just really rubbed it into my lips like a stain. And I like the formula of this a lot, and the color is very close to the color of my natural lips, just a little bit of a bump in color there. And then because it was such an overall romantic and natural look, I used a brown mascara today, and I tried to apply pretty soft feathery coats of mascara onto my lashes. And it's really interesting. It was an interesting experiment. I ended up, I think, with an overall very soft, pretty romantic look that's daytime appropriate and really highlights the blush. And I like it. It's something that I definitely wouldn't have, I think, done if I weren't doing this 5 days of blush experiment. And I'm surprised by how much I like this romantic look for day. So I'm gonna zoom you in. So that is it for today. I'm excited to have this eye look in my arsenal. I feel like having to put on a strong blush but not wanting to do a monochromatic look drove me to create a soft romantic look on my eyes that works for day, but that works with other things and that doesn't overwhelm other things on my face. It's like my eyes are done, but they aren't necessarily the main event. And that's useful for me. That's actually maybe a little bit different for me because I tend to really focus on one aspect and then go very, very, very light on all of the other aspects of my face when I'm creating a daytime look. So I feel like the eyes and cheeks are balanced today, and that's cool. It's different. It was a learning experience. I will see you tomorrow morning. Hey guys, good morning. It's Thursday morning, the 4th day of 5 days of strong blush, and it is genuinely raining in LA. It's kind of amazing. Usually when it rains here, it's just like, and then it's over. But it's been raining like all night last night, and it's like a consistent old-fashioned rain this morning, which is exciting. It doesn't usually happen, and it's cozy, and it's just nice to have a little bit of a change for once. This is my look for today. I went in today with this product. It's the Sephora Colorful Cheek Ink Gel in the color Dahlia. This was sent to me by the lovely Naomi, and she sent it because she had seen me talking about that kind of really, really wind-whipped, rosy, plummy cheek look that I sometimes like to wear in the winter. This is currently in the Purgatory box. I haven't used it enough to decide whether or not I want to add it to my collection. As I think all of you know, when I get something unsolicited, something that I didn't choose or buy myself, instead of putting it away with all of my other stuff, I put it into a Purgatory box and I spend time with it and decide whether or not it's something I want to add to my collection. This is how I'm keeping the things that I own and love and use from just growing and growing and growing into like a bloated, watered down collection. I think the reason I haven't been reaching for it is just that I'm kind of afraid of it. It's a gel, but it's a very dark color because it's Dahlia, and I find that gels are kind of hard to work with when it comes to cheek color, and the fact that it's so dark makes it even harder to work with and made me worry that it would be patchy. But it went on pretty well, and I built and built and built it. Like I put it on, I used this Wet n Wild brush to blend it out, and then I built on probably like 5 layers because I really, really wanted a super strong, colorful blush look today with this color. And it went pretty well. I think the one thing is that maybe you'll be able to see when I zoom in, because it's a sticky gel, I felt like some stuff got blended into it when I was blending it. Like there are some little black dots, I mean, it's nothing too terrible, but I just feel like maybe it was a little bit of pills of skincare, or even if there was a bit of dirt on my face or a bit of dust or something, it got kind of rolled into a ball and glued to my face in the gel because of the type of product that this is. And I'm making it sound really horrible and weird, but that's not what happened. It's not something super visible or dramatic. It's not something that made me want to wipe it off my face. It's just when I took a close-up look, it seemed a little bit textured and a little bit like there might be some dots in there, some stuff. I'm not sure. The jury's still out on this product. I do, however, like the overall look. And to go with it, I used this Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle lipstick in Griselda. This is also sent to me by one of you lovelies. And I wore this really at full opacity in a recent video. It was the video about Welcome to No by December, that video. And I didn't really love it on myself at full opacity. When I was editing that video, I was like, it's kind of a lot. And you can really see the contrast between the dark lip and the inner rim of my mouth. So I didn't love that, but I have been loving using this as a stain. I just apply it to my finger and then I rub it into my lips. I put it on dry lips this morning, and you can even see a little bit of the texture on my lips, and you can even kind of see a little bit of dry skin on my lips. I kind of like that look. It reminds me of like drinking wine late into the night with friends when I was in college or something. Like I think there's something really sensual and casual and effortless about that wine-stained or color-stained lip look that's uneven and I don't mind it at all. In fact, especially to go with this cheeks, that is what I was going for today on my lips. So I'm quite loving Griselda actually. And then on my eyes, I had such a good experience with the Natasha Denona Mini Star Palette yesterday that I decided to reach for my full-size Star Palette. I went in with kind of a taupey bronze with a little bit of a metallic shimmer, and then I also went in with the color that is like a matte mauve gray and blended that out. I left it really diffused. I didn't define the outer corner or anything. I just wanted to put a little bit of color onto my lid so I didn't look too much like a little bird that just woke up. And I put on the same sort of fluffy coat of brown mascara that I was wearing yesterday. I will zoom in so you can see. That's it for today. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work. I like this look. I was feeling like it was gonna be very dramatic when I was building and building and building the cheek stain. I was like, this is a strong blush look. This is like the strongest one. And now that it's complete and it's kind of balanced out with everything else, I actually don't feel like it's that weird. Like it's strong, it's a strong blush look, but it definitely doesn't look unwearable or too baby doll. I kind of worry about that sometimes with strong blush. I actually feel like it's rather wearable, and I'm surprised by that given what my plan was today, which was to go really hard with this product. Hey guys, good morning. It's Friday, the last day of 5 days of strong blush. As many of you I think know, especially if you were watching my hair check-ins that I should have posted over the weekend, we usually do a photo shoot on Friday. This is usually the Poema photo shoot day. So when I'm doing check-ins, I usually show up on Friday with a full face of intense glam makeup, full face of foundation, a face of makeup that I don't ever wear in day-to-day life, but I do wear for photo shoots under studio lights for our product shots. This week we had to move the photo shoot forward to tomorrow just to give me a little extra time to produce more pieces. We're once again stocking up to prepare for the time during the holiday season when I'll be out of the shop and I won't be able to make clothes. There's almost never a normal week in the Poema shop, as you might have gathered. So this Friday is just a normal work day for me, so I was able to sit down and put on my 5th wearable strong blush look for this video. I'm just looking in the monitor. Do you like how my desk has gotten more and more piled with stuff over the course of this week and I haven't cleared it away? I always clear my desk and make everything neat and tidy for normal videos, but for these check-ins I kind of just leave it how it is, and right now this is how it is. So embarrassing. And also the light is streaming in pretty strong today. It's no longer raining, it's actually quite sunny, blue skies, and I think with this look in particular, it's creating some unevenness. I think my eyeshadow in particular probably looks really different from this eye to this eye, but that's just how it is this morning. When I zoom in, hopefully you'll be able to see that it's actually pretty even in real life. Anyway, I wanted to pick a color or an overall look for the blush that I hadn't picked yet. So on Monday I had kind of an orangey blush. On Tuesday I had a red blush. On Wednesday I had a really soft romantic rose colored blush, and yesterday I had a really rich stainy plum blush. So I thought about it and I realized that the color category that I haven't really hit on is pink. But I don't really have any pinky pink blushes. I did up until recently, a couple that I had received as gifts, and I actually recently passed them along to friends and family. I don't have any truly pink blushes because I just don't think it's very flattering on me, both with my skin and my je ne sais quoi, and just in terms of the person I'm playing, the character that I'm playing when I go out into the world, the woman I aspire to be. So I went for the next best thing, the pinkest thing I have, which is Nars Orgasm. I have this liquid blush or body illuminator. It's like an all-over illuminator in the color Super Orgasm, which is like orgasm plus lots of glitter. And then I've got this little deluxe sample size of the original Nars Orgasm. So Nars Orgasm is the pinkest blush I have, but I would call it more of a peach, which probably makes sense. That's like the color category of blush that I'm relatively comfortable with, but that I haven't really touched on this week. Monday was maybe the closest, but it was more of an apricot, more of an orange peach. This is more of like a peach, like a pink peach. And it has a bunch of gold glitter in it, especially with this product. And I did want to go for like a glimmery, shimmery, editorially glossy and shiny look today because I think I've mostly been playing it safe for the middle of the week. And even on Monday, it was a shiny look, but it wasn't like, it wasn't like that. So here's what I did. I put the Illuminator, the liquid Illuminator, all over my eyelids, all the way up to my brows in a very, very thin layer. And it does sheer out, but it's quite sparkly. So there's kind of this sparkly, glittery, gold shifty base all over my entire lids on both eyes. And then I put a pretty intense layer of it on my cheeks as well. I sheared it out a lot, but then I continued to build it up a little bit on the very tippy tops of the outer edges of my cheekbones. And then I went in with a powder one with this brush, I think, sort of like a little domed brush. And I very carefully placed the powder blush, which is kind of pinker and denser, though it is less sparkly, in the spots that I wanted, and I blended it out. And I also used that essentially to set the liquid product on my eyelids. So I kind of patted it all over my lids to set that liquid product so that I would be able to blend out a powder eyeshadow into my eyes. And for the powder eyeshadow, although the next thing I did was that I put on the lip. And I've been doing this lately. I've been kind of going out of order with my products, choosing what I know I want and applying that first, and then deciding what I need to balance out those products. So I knew that I wanted to use these, so I started with them on the cheeks and eyes. And then for the lip, I thought, well, I'll use the lip to kind of ground the look. I didn't want to go for a peachy lip, although I do have a number of beautiful peachy lipsticks. I didn't want to look too much like a little peach fairy who just woke up in a little peach flower petal and blinked her little peach eyes and like sparkled through the world. I wanted to look a little more editorial than that. So I went in with the M Cosmetics Infinite Lip Cloud in Rose Nude, which is a soft My Lips But Better color on me, but with an ever so slight tinge of grayish almost. It's definitely got an edge of grunge, a subtle edge of grunge, and I feel like it actually did what I was hoping. It really kind of grounded the sparkles and the pinkness on the cheeks and the eyes. So after I had put that lip on, I had the epiphany about what I wanted to do to finish the eyes, and I reached for my Modern Renaissance palette and I went into Antique Bronze, probably my favorite shade in this palette, TBH. I really, really love that. And that is the only other thing I put on my eyes. I just packed it into my outer V, pretty low down. I didn't go too high up onto my eyes with the transition shade like I usually do. I usually do that to fix the effect of my hooded eyes, but today I kind of wanted to keep that kind of squinty hooded eyed look. So I just packed it in the outer corner, blended it across the lid, blended it into the other products. Then I popped on some mascara. I went for the soft, fluffy, romantic brown mascara that I've been using for the past 3 days. Let me zoom in so that you can see the look. All right, that's it for this look. I actually quite like this look for day, and I think I said this on one, if not more than one of the other days. When I was applying it, I was like, this is gonna be really intense, this is gonna be really editorial, I'm gonna look like a Looney Tunes person, I'm gonna look like good for filming but not so good for being in the world. But now that it's finished, and now that everything's kind of balanced out, I feel very much myself, I feel very natural, and I do feel like it's kind of soft and romantic, but with an edge, that edge of being slightly monochromatic. And I really like it. I think I have actually learned, I mean, I always do, I'm not surprised by this, and I'll talk more about it in the conclusion, but this look in particular, along with, I think I would say, the romantic rose look on Wednesday, have kind of taught me something about how wearable strong blush can actually be for me. The takeaway for me is that I don't need to be afraid of strong blush for day, and that there are a bunch of different ways to make it work with different kinds of eyes, different kinds of lips. I think I'm going to be more enthusiastic about using my blushes in the forthcoming weeks. Blush is one of my favorite cosmetics. I feel like it changes the face so much, more than almost anything else. Like mascara, for someone like me with very pale hair, changes the face a lot. But I think across the board, it's blush. Blush is just it's life. It's like a kind of life that no other cosmetic can claim to be. And it was really, really fun to lean on blush this week, to highlight blush, to build my looks around blush. I think almost every day, if not every day, I put on a little base, a little spot concealer, and then I went in with a blush first, or maybe a wash on the eyes and then the blush first. I would put on the strong blush and then I would be like, okay, what do I want to use to complement this? Like, how do I want to balance this out? It was just really fun to go in a different order. I usually do what everyone does. I'm like eyes, cheeks, lips, and instead this week it was like cheeks, okay, now what? And that was super fun. So I recommend that. It was a good week. It was a fun project. And Karen, thank you so much for wanting to do this with me. I'm really excited to be doing a collab with you. I can't wait to see your looks. I can't wait to see Karen's looks, you guys. Hop on over to Karen's channel. She is the absolute dream of the world to watch. She's just so charismatic, so fun, and so sassy and really gritty. She's gritty in her way. I love it. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will remember to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.